the wall opened up, she moved inside, and stayed there for 3 days, until after 3 days she came out with a child. The Holy Prophet took the responsibility of Amir al-Mu'minin about a few years after his birth. There is a discussion as to whether it was 4 years, 3 years, 6 years. Historians claim that a very bad drought affected the area, and since Abu Talib had huge, large family, the Holy Prophet, that by then was about 30-some years old, suggested to his uncle Abbas that, look, we could work with your brother and assist him by taking few of his children away, so that he has less to feed during this period of drought and the difficulty. Historians say that 3 brothers, the 2 brothers, Abbas and Hamza, and the Holy Prophet worked together, and each one picked up 1 son. Abbas picked up Ja'far, the Holy Prophet picked up Ali, and Hamza one of the other children. Because Abu Talib said, leave me Aqil and you can take whatever you want. So each one took 1. Literally, the Holy Prophet, we were just discussing the role model in one's life. The Holy Prophet becomes the role model in the life of Ali. Right from the 2nd, 3rd or 4th year of his life until the moment that the Holy Prophet dies. And if you go to Nahj al-Balagha, Amir al-Mu'minin on a number of occasions clearly states how close he was to the Holy Prophet. And he even uses the metaphor of a calf and its mother. I used to follow the Holy Prophet like a calf following the mother. There was not an incident in his life that I missed, and there was no incident in my life that he missed. He taught me so much from early age that he taught nobody else, and I lived with him day in, day out. During the time when revelation began to come, I used to hear the sound of the conversation. I used to feel the vibration of the message, where nobody else could understand. So the close nature of the Imam with the Holy Prophet until the moment of death, nobody can deny. After the death of the Holy Prophet, the moment of the moment that the Holy Prophet died, the same day, we have the beginning of a schism, or what we call it fitna. The schism, unfortunately, we still are paying the price for it up to today, because it changed the direction that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted through the command of the Holy Prophet for the Muslim community. And sure enough, within 10, 15 or 25 years, when Ali comes to power and he is elected as the Khalif, clearly makes a statement that all the value system that the Holy Prophet worked to bring in your life, they all have been forgotten, and we are back to the Jahiliyyah, with a difference that you pray and you fast. أَلَا وَإِنَّ بَلِيَّتَكُمْ قَدْ عَادَتْ. All the problems, the challenges that the Holy Prophet had to deal with to correct the society, to move it away from class, from race, from wealth and everything else into a more God-centric, taqwa-centric society, all have forgotten. What do we have? A new bourgeoisie under the cover of Islam, practicing the same old Jahiliyyah mentality and this Jahiliyyah value. So what we have, this fitna, what we see today as a crisis that we have to deal with in the Muslim community and Muslim society around the world, is directly can be traced back to the first, you call it revolution or whatever, revolt against the clear judgment of Allah, which was called the Saqifa get-together. Amir al-Mu'minin comes to power, he has to make a statement. He says, ما وجدت إلا قتال القوم أو الكفر بما جاء به محمد. There was no other alternative. The deviation distortion has taken place, taken root within the society, that I have no other option either to fight my own fellow member of the community or forget about the principles of the Holy Prophet. إنما أحببنا نقاتل إخواننا في الإسلام على ما دخل فيه. For the distortion, the deviation, the doubt, which came out of, again, Saqifa. Now we end up fighting each other because of exactly the crisis that we have to deal with. People had for 25 years different role models. They had political leaders that they were comfortable with huge amount of wealth. And nobody would practice Islam the way it should be. How many of you work in accountancy or are familiar with accounting? You use a simple formula, they call it the net present value formula, and go back to what Mas'udi and other historians claim as to the wealth of these Sahabas were at the moment of their death. Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, that the second Khalif appointed him to be one of the six individuals that were supposed to select the next leader, left so much gold and wealth that if you use the net present value formula with the 5% inflation, 1,400 years of time, it will give you somewhere around $65 billion of wealth at that time. When the society had not enough money to survive. No wonder when they were put in a sixth group and deliberately chosen so that it will not be an odd number, so 4-3. 3-3 that ultimately will be in favor of one. They will choose somebody that facilitated the collection of this wealth. إنما أحببنا نقاتل إخواننا في الإسلام على ما دخل فيه من الإعوجاج. Because of everything, والشبهة والتأويل. To the point, Imam even a more poignant, more explicit reference to the crisis that he had to deal with. He says in Khutbah 195, لقد أصبحت الأمم تخاف ظلم رعائها. That societies are afraid or they dread the injustice of the leaders and the rulers, and I fear the cruelty of my subject. I wish Muawiyah comes and takes 10 of you and gives me with one of his followers. اجتماعهم على باطلهم وتفرقكم عن حقهم. So bad leadership, bad example, bad role model within the society does not only affect the children that we as family, the unit, small structure, are responsible to create. On a macro scale, it corrupts the society as well. Because then, when you have huge amount of wealth that comes out of this loot that comes in from various wars, what comfort, the creature comfort dominates, and you have leaders that they simply do not follow the instruction of Islam. The role model provided for the community becomes a corrupted one. That was one of the fundamental crises that Amir al-Mu'mineen had to deal with. Society for 25 years were not associated, they did not have the right role model to look at and imitate. And then now Amir al-Mu'mineen comes and says, look, I want to literally shake you. So the whole value system changes. "25 years of collecting wealth, became the goal of the society. To the point, أَلَا وَإِنَّ بَلِيَّتَكُمْ قَدْ عَادَتْ. You've gone back, literally, to the old time as far as your value system goes. People wanted one type of a leader, Amir al-Mu'mineen wanted a different type of people. And there was a dichotomy here. They never listened to it. And that clearly states part of the political philosophy of Islam, that to change a society you need both. A society that is prepared to submit to the command of a true charismatic leader, and a leader which is charismatic and feels the pain of the society to work together. We see similar kind of statement being made by Imam Hussein in the day of Arafah as he is leaving out to go to Karbala. Clearly outlines that society by itself without a leader is not going to survive, and to be guided, and a leader by himself is not going to be the one that would miraculously change the society. This is the early history of Islam, year 35, and Imam says, وَمَا تَتَعَلَّقُونَ مِنَ الْإِسْلَامِ إِلَّا إِسْمًا. Only in name you are adhered to Islam. Just imagine, 1,400 years has gone since then. What is left of it? If year 35 Imam says you only clinging to the appearance of Islam and do not remember the essence of it, you stick to the outline and you have severed the bond of Islam and terminated all of its values and boundaries. But at the same time, he has a responsibility. In a letter that he gives to Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr, he clearly identifies, I think we discussed this a couple of nights ago, that part of the responsibility, the primary responsibility of leader of Ahlul Bayt is protection of Islam. That trumps everything else. As long as Islam can be protected, even if their own rights are usurped, they are prepared to accept it. Go to Khutbah Shaqshaqiyya and see what the Imam says. I found myself before a testing situation in which should I rise up and get what is mine, divine